Hello again, everybody, and welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. This is the Barely There podcast, and we are on the bye. And during the bye, hopefully we see the Cubs win 2 series. Today was a little bit of a letdown, but we'll get into that a little bit later. We're going to take a look at Braxton Jones being benched today. Big move by the Chicago Bears, and Ben Johnson sticking true to his words to when he was hired here. And we're going to take a trip around the league, of course. And we're going to take a look at the first 4 weeks of the Bears. What was good, what was bad, what we need to improve on. And hopefully we get some help coming on this defense. We're going to get into all this right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago's.
Well, hello again, everybody. How's everybody doing this evening on this beautiful extended summer in Chicago?
I'm happy, man. I've got my second Bears victory week in a row, so I could listen to Chicago sports in the car while I'm driving around for work and not have to just drive around in silence. So it's pretty good today. Kyle, how about you?
I'm all right, man. A little disappointed, obviously. The Cubs are the first team in wild card history to not, first home team in wild card history to not sweep the series after winning their first game. But hopefully they'll come back and win tomorrow. Real quick, guys, we already got Phil and Mikey in the chat and breaking news. Bruce,
what up,
obviously.
fellas?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Boys, thanks for joining us. And true to his word, man. We'll get right into it. True to his word. Trying to wait, Bruce, if you're listening here, keep us updated on that Boston series. That has an impact on what the Cubs will be doing this Saturday. And we got Christopher Goldman back asking for more WNBA information on the playoffs. We'll get to that in about an hour and 45 minutes from now.
Yeah, right. Stick with us, Chris.
Stick with the program. It's on the docket. Relentless. It was a tough Cubs day today, but you know what? I'm going to hold my head up high because when you face a staff like this is going to happen sometimes. The bats went cold. I'm going to expect them to bounce back tomorrow, man. I really am. It really sucked today. Kind of deflated the bubble of the excitement of Tuesday, but Cease has had our number. This shouldn't be a shock to anybody. He absolutely owns us, and Mason Miller, I think, owns everybody. I mean, that guy is a cheat code. So, we'll see. I'm not worried. Relentless, you're a Sox fan? That's unfortunate.
Jason. You should stop being a fan of him until the old man dies. That's what I'm doing.
Mikey's true, man, through and through. Are you really a Southsider, Mikey? Doesn't change my opinion of you. I'll still like you. But you're rooting for the Cubs, we hope. We're rooting for the Cubs.
Oh, everybody should be rooting for the Cubs right now. It's a Chicago team in the playoffs. We haven't had one in years, so
we're holding up the foundation of the city right now. Yeah, I think the Cubs will win tomorrow. You got the Cubs winning tomorrow. You got them beating you, Darvish. Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, if not, it's over. I mean, Jameson.
Where's your confidence level? Where's your confidence level?
In Jameson Tyon, a 10. In the Cubs lineup, a 4.
We just got to scratch a couple runs. We're gonna have Keller. We're gonna have Palencia. We'll have our fresh arms tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get a little.
No, I mean, if it's a close game, the Padres are in trouble because they just burned their entire bullpen in the game today. So
I thought that was kind of foolish, man, giving his bullpen 16 outs with a big game on the docket tomorrow. So,
I mean, once the Cubs didn't score in the 8th, if I were him, I'd be like, well, let's just save the closer because it's still 3-0. Like if the Cubs had put a couple runs on the board, I'd be like, I get it. But once they didn't score in the 8th, if I were him, I would have put in anybody but my closer and saved him for tomorrow. But good for the Cubs, man.
Hey, Trey, the Cubs will play their last game at home and tomorrow until they return from Milwaukee for games 3 and 4.
Oh, look at this, guys. His third cousin is Tony La Russa.
Oh, that's awesome. That's nice, Mikey. That's nice.
You guys ever seen this before?
No,
TR?
TR, what's
Yeah,
going on?
he was on Monday. He was on the
TR,
show
what's up?
Monday.
What's up,
Oh,
TR?
what's going on, TR? I think that's T, and he changed his name to TR. I think. Am I wrong? Shout me out if you are. Shout it out if I am. But nonetheless, yes, today it came down, and it was really interesting. It was really interesting that he did this so fast, because when he was asked about this in his presser, I know it's a little long and drawn out, but he said that he was going to take this time, get a feel over the next few days schematically, see what they were doing, and take some time to go through the first 4 games and then make a decision. Apparently, he went through that film really fast and made a really fast decision. I actually am really happy with this decision, because now you have 2 weeks for these guys to work together. You know what you're coming into Washington, going to Washington with. Excuse me. You got hopefully Darnell on the right. You'll have Theo on the left, and you're looking pretty good. Theo came out, being thrust into that game against Vegas. Had a pretty good game. 68 snaps, 44 block, 24 run block, 0 sacks, 0 QB hits, 2 hurries. Obviously, those were both Max Crosby. And then on the counterpart, as we looked at the rookie, Ozzie Trapillo, he also had a great day. Coming in with, I think it was about 3:30 to go in the second quarter of that football game, when Max Crosby was absolutely ruining this football game for the Chicago Bears. Our head coach, our coaching staff found a way to get things right and get the train back on the track. So now that Braxton Jones is officially gone, where's your thought? What are your guys' thoughts of what he said? Number one, coming in, we're going to put our best 11 on the football field every week. He made that evaluation. There's a couple of stats behind this that we'll get into here shortly, but I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on the benching of one Braxton Jones.
Well, I can tell you this. We're probably never going to know the exact conversations that went on. I mean, teams like to keep those things quiet. But if I recall, Rashard was basically beating him up earlier in the preseason for having some good plays. This is Braxton Jones. I mean, having some good plays and then kind of taking other plays off, and kind of getting slow at the end of and second halves of games. And I think maybe, and I'm just speculating here, but I'm guessing because I haven't seen it when I'm watching the Bears. I don't think Braxton Jones did anything to improve on those things that I'm sure they were clearly telling him you need to improve on. And that, from a coaching standpoint, if you're a coach, you don't want to see it and you can't let it go, because that's how you lose teams. Because the whole offensive line is going to hear you knocking this guy for not doing this, not doing that. And if you don't get benched, you don't do anything, they're not going to try as hard either. And now when you see a guy, a veteran getting benched basically mid-game, right? Not like, oh, hey, we'll finish this year off and then we'll go in with another guy next year. Mid-game, and then see the young kid come in. That's going to spread throughout the entire roster. Everybody's going to be working hard, from the pros that have been there forever to the guys that are young and just coming in because they know there's a chance, whether it's injury or guys just not performing well enough. I got to be on my A game and I got to be ready. And, we were kind of talking about this before the show. The Bears probably aren't going to take back the North, this year. We've got a lot of growth to do, but I think that's the first step in culture building and building a winning mentality. That you're right, Kyle. Next year, I think the Bears are going to be very, very legit and well more respected than they are this year.
Yeah, when it comes to Braxton Jones, I think the option, the choice was pretty much made for Ben Johnson. I mean, if you go look at his numbers, he's played something about 130 pass protection snaps. He's allowed 15 pressures. I mean, he's basically given up a pressure every 9 snaps. He's already allowed 2 sacks. He's on pace to allow 8 sacks this season, 10 sacks, somewhere in there. He just hasn't been good. And I mean, Braxton Jones was never like a cornerstone at left tackle. He was never a dominant player or a tone setter, but he has played average in the past. He's had games where he's looked good. He's had games where he's looked bad according to competition. But at the end of the day, guys, this Braxton Jones that started out, and I know he's coming off a major injury, but the Braxton Jones to start off the season here has been the worst Braxton Jones I've ever seen on the Chicago Bears. I mean, there was one point, I think it was through week 3, Sean, you brought this up. I think he'd allowed 74% of the pressures that Caleb Williams had faced so far this season. Guys, at the end of the day, that's Caleb Williams' blind side. If you have a guy who you think can be 2% better than Braxton Jones, you have to make that switch. You don't want your quarterback getting
He's
hurt.
garbage against the run too, though. It's not just the passing game.
Yeah,
he's just
not very good, and he looks very top heavy to me. He doesn't look like he has a very good foundation. He doesn't look very strong in his lower body. He's just, to me, was an average guy. He was good value for a 5th round pick, but at the end of the day, the Bears have been trying to replace him since basically the year after they drafted him. And I think Theo Benedet, they liked what they saw on tape. They liked what they saw against the Raiders. You guys correct me if you think I'm wrong, but the offense looked better as a whole when they made that change and Braxton Jones was no longer on the field. So you got to go with what works. And unfortunately for Braxton Jones, it's Theo Benedet at left tackle.
Yeah, and I think Ben Johnson wants to run this football, and DeAndre Swift behind Braxton Jones, 6 carries, 1 yard. Behind Theo Benedet, 7 carries for 34 yards, 4.9 yards per carry. And obviously that ball was ran in on that side, the winning touchdown behind Theo Benedet and Joe Tooney. So he found something there. He made the switch. I'm so happy. I really am. I think everybody that knows football, from the casual fan to the diehards to the people who break it down like us, saw Max Crosby almost disappear in that football game when this transition made. Yes. And the feet are one thing, because I think with the left tackle, Theo Benedet's feet are a little bit smoother and a little bit quicker than Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones is so slow out of his stance. Like Mikey's pointing out, that bull rush is something he's never going to be able to handle. And let's be honest, man, we got Trey Hendrickson coming up. We got that New York Giants front 7 coming up. We have some premium pass rushers in this league, and the tape is out. Now we're going to see a full dose of Theo Benedet. We're going to see exactly what the Canadian Destroyer has. And hopefully it's this guy right here, loving America, from Canada, and bringing home a left tackle position. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, man, we found Trent Williams. But I do think that we found a substantial upgrade from Braxton Jones. And Kyle, to your point, I agree with you, man. Maybe that injury, it's really difficult, for him to come back. Maybe he's not going to be himself until next year. I mean, that was a really, really bad, debilitating injury.
And another thing you consider, guys, is maybe this offense just isn't built for Braxton Jones. I mean, we've heard many players say that this is a much more elaborate and confusing offense than they've seen in the past, same as the defense with Dennis Allen. Maybe Braxton Jones just isn't good at picking it up, or maybe they need to move a step quicker in this offense, and he's not capable of doing that. I don't know what it is, guys, but like you said 1,000 times, Sean, all you can do is use the eye test. And Braxton Jones has not been good this year. It's not a secret to anybody. And Jason, like you said, there was times in the past where he looked good at pulling. He would get downfield, level somebody. He hasn't been doing that this year either. He's not good at anything. He's not good at run blocking. He's not good at pass protection. And like I said, you guys, I agree with you, Sean. I don't think Theo Benedet's going to come in here and be the best left tackle in football. But if he's 5% better than Braxton Jones, then you make that move. And credit to Ben Johnson for making that move at halftime. Because if you look like dog shit in the first half, you have to make adjustments, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, because he's trying to win a game. And my biggest knock really on Braxton Jones, I think, Sean, it was you that mentioned it, or maybe Kyle, it was you. But his biggest weakness is the bull rush. It's like the easiest move to do, in as a defensive end. It's just strength and speed, right? It's a bull rush. And there's tons of guys in the league that are strong. Max Crosby's not that strong. He's just extremely agile and fast. So when he's getting around you, you can't do anything. I mean, when we start playing Green Bay, and we got to go up against some of these elite guys, we're going to play the Browns too, by the way. I am really scared about that game. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. But I'll tell you what, right now the Bears offensive line as a whole is giving Caleb the most time to throw than any other team in the league. So that's pretty impressive. But I think it should get better, with Theo Benedet there. It's just a bull rush. You can't stop a bull rush. You can't play tackle. It's just that simple to me. And maybe that's what it came down to Johnson saying, dude, you can't stop the bull rush. I can't let you play, period.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that we've talked about in the past, and I know you and I have, Kyle, I don't know if you and I have, Jay, but we've talked about how good Braxton Jones actually was in the run game. And that was actually suffering this year pretty bad. And again, maybe it's because of the injury, having the time off, or maybe he's just a 5th round pick who, just needs to be replaced, and he's just not good. I mean, and look, do I think he outkicked his coverage as far as being a 5th round pick? Yeah, absolutely. I do. And kudos to him for being that guy for us. But that time has come to pass, and I think his time has come to pass, and it probably cost him a lot of money. It probably cost
I
him
was just about to say, at least we don't have to pay him now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and the Bears are doing one of two things here. First of all, they're showing a lot of confidence in Theo Benedet. That's the only way to make a player better is to throw
They're
him out there.
developing him too,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah, and show him that you believe in him. And number two, guys, I think they've basically just told the Bears fan base they've made a decision on the Braxton Jones extension. He is not going to be a Chicago Bear next year. There's no doubt in my mind. Braxton Jones is going to become a free agent. All we can hope for, guys, is that Theo Benedet is an above average left tackle. And if the Bears have a bunch of holes to fix in the offseason, maybe left tackle is not one of them. That's a pressing issue. Now, you guys know where I stand on the offensive line. I think it's the most important part of the football team outside of quarterback Caleb Williams. So I'd like to see them bring a Trent Williams type player in this building at some point, a 1st round pick, a 1st round left tackle. But if Theo Benedet plays well enough and they don't have to go and they can use that 1st round pick on, say, like a running back or a defensive end, and that's the way they decide to go, that would work out well for Bears and the Bears fans, because it's been a long time. We've been talking about this offensive line, in particular left tackle guys, and sooner or later you have to find a solution. I mean, this is Caleb's blind side. Eventually you're going to you keep ignoring that position, you're going to get quarterback hurt. I mean, look what's happening with CJ Stroud. Look what's happening with Joe Burrow. You don't want that happening to Caleb Williams. If Theo Benedet's the guy, or if he's, like I said, if he's just a hair better than Braxton Jones, I'll take it.
Yeah, and the one thing, the one thing that I noticed was, that kick slide that he had, and he was able to get out of that stance, move back laterally, and counter that pass rush last week against Vegas. That was one thing that I noticed right away when he moved over to the left side. He still had his stumbles and his bumbles, of course, because he's an undrafted free agent who, again, I don't think is going to be Trent Williams. But him being able to get into that backslide, be able to anchor his body and spread out wide and stop that rush, that just wasn't happening with Braxton Jones on the football field. It was happening with Theo Benedet on the football field. So it'll be interesting to see if he can keep his good technique, his sound technique up against Washington as we invade the nation's capital here in 2 weeks time. So
yeah, real quick, guys. Justin Jones has joined the show. He says Braxton couldn't even be average next to one of the best guards in all of football. I think that was a big part of why they had any faith in him at all. Ballers ball regardless. Braxton is not that. I agree with you 100%, Dustin.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like I said, man, he was a 5th round pick. I think he served his purpose in Chicago. And I think he personally outplayed his 5th round draft status personally. But at the end of the day, I think he's kind of reverted back to that 5th round draft status coming into the season. So, but again, and to the point of the injury, that injury, on that heavy of a body, here, I broke my ankle, and, I'm 190 soaking wet. And it took 6 months for me to get back on it myself. You're talking about a 350-pound lineman who has to be agile, move side to side, put all that weight. I mean, it took a while for me to recover from my broken ankle. I mean, it was almost 8 months.
You're 20 years older and 2 feet shorter and 150 pounds lighter. So it's different.
Yeah. And I mean, 8 months just for me, so it's just. Thanks, Dustin.
And his son is usually soaking wet. That's cool.
Thanks, Dustin. So I'm very happy. I'm happy at the fact that we had a head coach who came in here and said, "Hey, look, on Sundays, I'm putting my best 11 out there. Doesn't matter the paycheck, doesn't matter what they've done here before, what they're doing right now. If they're not the best, they're not going to be on there." He showed that. He's playing musical chairs. He's getting this line right. And hopefully Darnell Wright will be back, because regardless of how good Ozzie Trapilo looked, which we could talk about that, I thought Trapilo was good. I don't think he's Darnell Wright. We need Darnell Wright back on this football team, back on this line to anchor the line. You guys saw it. How did you guys perceive the line with our Darnell Wright on it? Because this is a big conference. This is a big topic of conversation. We should have drafted Jalen Carter over Darnell Wright. But I've been saying for 2 years, and on this show many a times, can you imagine this line without Darnell Wright? Well, we saw it this weekend, and it wasn't pretty.
I'm not sure Carter is the same player if the Bears draft him either. We talked about that. He went to a team full of Georgia Bulldogs that could help him kind of ease himself, into the league. And he still has some maturity issues. Let's be perfectly honest. I mean, he's not, a model citizen in the NFL, but he is a destroyer of worlds on that defensive line. Would I love to have had them? But yeah, but I don't know that makes him instantly really good. Fit, a player's fit into a team is almost just as important as their level of talent. You could draft the wrong kind of quarterback and then trying to run a wrong offense with it, and it's just not going to work no matter where you draft the quarterback. And that goes for any position. If you're getting slow guys but you want to run a speedy offense or defense, it's not going to work. So I think he's a big run stopper. And I'll be honest with you, speaking of run stoppers, I think Billings had a pretty good game last week. Maybe not as great as he was last year, but he's starting to slowly emerge himself into this game. There was a couple of times where he burst through that line into the backfield, and he was hitting the running back like a half a second after he got the ball, before he was even able to make a cut. So I'd like to see that continue. I don't know that Grady Jarrett is being hurt is why we're still giving up 6 yards a game, but that interior of the defensive line definitely needs to get better. And hopefully, we see that rookie we draft start to develop. I'm not really hearing Javon Dexter's name a whole lot during the game, but I do see him in there. So we'll see what's going on. Billings, though, I thought had a pretty good game. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, when it comes to Darnell Wright over Jalen Carter, I mean, listen, would I love to have Jalen Carter in the Chicago Bears? Absolutely. I mean, he's one of the best defensive tackles in football, if not maybe the best defensive tackle in football. But at the end of the day, guys, I don't want to be a dead horse. I know you guys are probably getting sick of hearing it, but the most important thing on a football field outside of quarterback is offensive line, because if you don't have an offensive line, the quarterback can't do anything or he gets hurt. So at some point, it's not the flashy pick. People don't like seeing it. Oh man, we drafted a guard in the second round. We drafted a right tackle in the first round. We drafted a left tackle at pick 30. Well, like you're going to hear that day in and day out, every single draft from anybody who's not entrenched in football or doesn't know the X's and O's of the game. You have to build your offensive line, guys. Look at the best teams in the NFL right now. Look at the teams who are championship caliber football teams. It's all because of their offensive lines. I mean, listen, is Jalen Hurts good? Yeah, sure. He's a good quarterback, but he is benefits from an offensive line more than any player in the NFL, guys. 100%. I mean,
I don't care how strong your legs are. That tush push don't work.
Yeah, this tush push. Everyone in the NFL thinks they could do the tush push or the quarterback sneak. But you know why the Eagles are so good at it? Because they have one of the best and biggest offensive lines in all of football. The Bears need to continue to add studs to the offensive line, and the better the offensive line gets, in turn, you guys, Caleb Williams will also grow and get better.
Yeah,
100%. Hey, Notorious. Question for you. Welcome to the show. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Wednesday. But on Monday, did you say you live in East Dundee? And do you come to River Street? 2 questions for you, bud.
Yeah, and real quick, guys, I forgot to mention, as of after week 3, Darnell Wright, out of all 160 odd whatever linemen in the NFL, or at least guys who've played enough snaps for qualified, Darnell Wright has allowed the 7th least amount of pressures of any offensive lineman in the not tackle. Offensive lineman in the NFL. So listen, I understand he's got penalty issues and so definitely something he can clean up, but that's something you can coach. You can get better at that.
Yeah.
His God-given talent, his athletic ability, when we hear Ben Johnson talk about how he's a special player, that can't be coached. And Darnell Wright's a damn good player in the NFL, and he's a damn good offensive lineman. He's a damn good right tackle, and I hope he's on the Bears for a very, very, very long time.
Absolutely. I agree with that 1,000,000%. I love Darnell Wright. And what is he just turned 24?
Super young. I mean, we could have him for another 15 years, too.
He's going to continue to grow into something special, and he already is. He already is. And I'm sorry, I think that game is a lot different if Darnell Wright is there in the first half, because I don't think Max Crosby is that big of a problem if Darnell Wright is over there handling him. And that's not a knock on Theo Benedet, because I said this too. I thought Theo Benedet was a better left tackle than he was right tackle. I think he proved that when they switched him over, because he was really struggling on the right side. They moved him to the left side.
Still didn't give up a sack though, and Max Crosby was on both sides of the line.
Yeah, but he was giving up pressures when he only got accounted for 2 pressures, but he was getting steamrolled on that side a few times.
Yeah, there's
But
only one way to find out, Mikey. You have to wait and see. But I do expect the penalties to start to dissipate a little bit here as the
I do
season
too.
goes on. Yeah, real quick, guys. Crooked Commish is now announced. He says, "What's up, guys? Ugly ass win, but I'll take them in any way they come." I agree with
Hell
you.
yeah.
100%. A win is a
You
win,
don't get
guys.
extra points for
It's
big
very,
wins. A
very
W
tough
is a W
league
is
to
a
win.
W.
No, you certainly do not. And if it was 25-24, man. I had the Bears winning 27-17. Jay, where were you at? Jay was where's the sheet? Who was the closest? Let's see. Kyle was 31-21. I was 27-17. Jay 30-14. Vizzo Joe is going to be the closest at 28-24 Bears. He was the closest. Vizzo. Yeah, good job, buddy. That was
he was a Bears field goal shy of being perfect.
Yeah, he's almost dead nuts. So yeah, you know what?
Though, Sean, not to interrupt you, but that score. Speaking of just a 1-point win, and it's not, it was an ugly win. It wasn't maybe as ugly as you guys or some fans may think, because honestly, last year that was a game we lost.
100%.
We would have lost that game 100%. We lost like 4 of them last year. So to actually come out of that game with a win, I think is a really big step in the right direction for him. But I mean, I guarantee every Bears fan in the world was screaming, when that, Blackwell blocked that field goal. So I think being able to have that big drive in the fourth quarter and then the special teams coming in and playing like they did, I think that is a sign of a winning franchise. Now, I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm just saying that's something that winning franchises do. They close out games when they need to close out a game.
Yeah, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad. I mean, there's a lot of things you can take away from that game, and you could say the Bears, clearly the culture is changing. They're starting to establish an identity. Caleb Williams is getting more and more comfortable in this offense, and you can go to the flip side of the ball. And there's, and we're going to talk about the defense here in a minute, right, Sean? We're going to talk about what we need to get fixed, but that run defense, if the Bears want to reach that 9-win mark, like we talked about with their schedule, they're going to have to clean that run defense up, because you got some. You're looking at Saquon Barkley, you're looking at Derrick Henry, you're looking at Josh Jacobs twice, you're looking at Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery again. I mean, you guys, if they don't clean that run defense up, it's going to be a long season for Chicago Bears.
They're giving up the most yards per play and like second most per game. Their run defense is garbage. It's not good. And I'm not saying bend don't break. They're breaking and bending and flopping and flipping.
You hope. I would just assume, just with how good of athletes they are, how good of players they are, I believe that when Kyler Gordon and Grady Jarrett and TJ Edwards all get back, I think this run defense will improve a little bit. Now, I'm not saying they're going to top 5 in the league, guys. I'm just saying I think there's definitely room to improve. I don't think they'll be allowing 7 yards a carry for the rest of the season. But another thing they need to work on, guys, is they have to gang tackle, and they haven't been doing that. They need to swarm the ball, and the Bears have not.
They did it the first 2 weeks, but not the last 2. I agree.
They need to get better at that. And the longer that Dennis Allen is working with these players, the better they're going to get, right? It's funny that everybody always says that, the longer Caleb Williams is with Ben Johnson, he's only going to get better. He's only going to grow. The offense is going to get better. Everybody's going to find their place in this offense. But then you flip to the other side of the ball with Dennis Allen, and people are like, there's no way the Bears defense will get better. They suck. They're awful. Like, so what? Dennis Allen just gets no credit for being one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL for the last 20 years. Come on, guys. He's going to find a way to clean some of this stuff up for sure. Now, maybe they don't have the personnel there right now to make it look good, but they can make it look better. For sure.
Well, they definitely can make. I don't think all the parts are here for Dennis Allen's defense, and I don't
believe so yet.
Some of the parts we have aren't here right now.
Well, as bad as it looks too, I don't know that I'm going to sit here and say it's a 1-year fix. This could be a 2-year fix. It did. I believe it took him 2 full years to get things right in New Orleans before they were humming and they were a top 10 defense. And, he got some draft picks in there and got the personnel that he wanted. And I could see that happening here, but you're starting to see the transition of some of these players, Kevin Byard for one, Tyreek Stevenson for another. These guys, he's starting to get the best out of them. And I think he will continue to get the best out of some of these guys. I know we're going to talk about Noah Sewell here in a second. In the linebacking position, because I think everything on the defense personally can get better. I do think it has gotten better a little bit, except it's hard to say because the run defense is so bad, but it was 4.6 against Detroit. If I'm remembering correctly, I think it was 5. Who was week 2?
Well, Detroit was week 2. The Cowboys were week 3.
Home opener was
Minnesota.
Minnesota was 4.6. Detroit was 5. I think it was 7 against Dallas and 7 again against.
I think 5.7 against Dallas, so 6.
5.7.
And then that disaster last week. But Sean, are we talking about the defense? Can we continue to talk about the defense here for a minute?
Yeah.
I want to talk to
here. We're just gonna talk about things we've noticed over the first 4 weeks, things we'd like to improve. You guys chime in the chat, and we'll get to them, man.
Yeah, you guys. The Bears defense is a conundrum. It is. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have done this or not, but go dive deep into the numbers. I mean, listen to this. The Bears are 3rd in the NFL in takeaways. They are 1st in the NFL in third down defensive efficiency. They are ranked 18th in pass defense, missing 4 corners, 4 cornerbacks, 3 starters. And I think Terrell Smith would have been a starter if Jalen Johnson was out. I think Terrell Smith would have slid in that role. And then Zay Frazier, we don't know what we're going to get from him. But you're missing a majority of your secondary.
And a linebacker.
You're 18th, and a good coverage linebacker. You're 18th in passing defense. You're 1st in third down efficiency, and you're 3rd in takeaways. The problem with the Bears is they are dead last in stopping the run, and it's by a large margin. Guys, you know what else is a large margin? They're not just 1st in third down efficiency. They're 1st by a mile. I think they allow 29% of third downs. I think the next team allows 33%. I know people are like, oh, 5%, big deal. But after you get past the Bears and you go from 29 to 33, it's like 33, 33.1, 33.2, 33.4. I mean, but they have a 5% lead over everybody. So if they can somehow, and maybe it calls for bringing somebody in who's not on this team right now, maybe trading for a guy like Jeffrey Simmons. But if the Bears can somehow fix this run defense, you're talking about the possibility of this defense moving up to a top 15, 10 defense in the NFL, because you look at the rest of the statistics, a la Dennis Allen being a badass, the Bears are a really good defense outside of that one statistic, rushing yards allowed per game.
And you know what? Maybe with Kyler Gordon back, with Austin Booker back, I think he's also scheduled or eligible to come back on the 13th. With TJ Edwards coming back, I don't know how well the inside run defense is going to get better with those guys, but I think the outside run defense is going to be much better. And that can make an opposing team's run game a little bit one-dimensional. It's easier to stop the ball in between the tackles than it is outside the tackles sometimes, especially with speed. And when you're missing half your secondary and half your linebacking crew. So I don't think the Bears need to be number 1 against the run here to improve. It's really hard to keep that turnover ratio like that. It's hard to sustain that. So I would like to see it go down to about 4.5, I think would be a huge improvement, and maybe our ceiling for this year as far as, getting any better against the run. But I'm hoping it gets better, because we were talking about it on, last night. When the Bears play Baltimore, Derrick Henry, if we can't stop Ashton Genty, we're not stopping Derrick Henry. Unless we get him to, fumble the ball again, but that's probably not going to happen either. Well, the guy is going to run through some of those players that, maybe look good now, but Derrick Henry makes everybody look bad. So you think 6 yards a carry is bad? Wait till he gets, 40-yard runs against us.
What's unfortunate for the Bears, in particular for guys like Javon Dexter and Montez Sweat, and you guys listen, I'm not saying Montez Sweat has been a good defensive end, because he hasn't this year. He's not been non-existent in the pass rush, but Montez Sweat has still been a good run defender this year, as has Javon Dexter. The problem is they keep running the left side of the line when it's Pasnier or Deo, and they're just gaining huge chunk yards. I mean, if the Bears could just get somebody in the left side of the line to set the edge, somebody to stop the run over there, because if you notice, guys, teams are not running at Dexter and Sweat very often. They're always going to the left, and that's where most of their big plays have come from. They need somebody on the left side of that defensive line to get better, or somebody trade for somebody, sign somebody. I think they need to do something, because right now that combination of Deo and Pasnier and Billings just isn't cutting it. I mean, that's where most of these rushing yards are coming from. I don't know, Sean. Do you see a quick fix? Or do you think the Bears are going to have to trade for somebody before the deadline here? Do you think they're just going to kind of ride this out for the rest of the season and try to fix the offseason? What do you think they're going to do, man?
And I would like. I know this seems far-fetched, but if there's really displeasure, and I talked a little bit about this on Monday, if there's displeasure in New York with Dexter Lawrence, I think that's your fix, man. And I'm willing to give up at his age. I'm willing to give up some draft capital to get that guy here, because he's a game changer in the middle of that line. if you're looking to make a move for somebody who fits what you're trying to do and who's just an all-pro monster. Like, I mean, how much does Dexter Lawrence improve this ball club like that in the middle?
Yeah, or Jeffrey Simmons. I think either one of them. I mean, you can't
Or
really go
Jeffrey
wrong with-
Simmons.
I mean, both those guys are really good at stopping the run and getting after the quarterback. They're both all around very good football players. I mean, the problem with the Bears is now they have to start worrying about salary since they gave so much to Deo and they gave so much to Grady Jarrett and they gave so much to these offensive linemen. Now you have to start worrying about how much money can you afford these guys if you trade for them. That's going to be another conversation. But I mean, if they don't add, if somebody on this team doesn't improve drastically, a guy like Deo or a guy like Billings don't get back to like Billings gets if he could just get back to where he was 2 seasons ago at stopping the run, this would improve immediately. Just if Billings could get better, because Billings has not been good this year, guys. He has not been a good football player this year, and it's severely disappointing because when the Bears had their full health defense last year early in the season, they weren't all that bad at stopping the run. It was the game after Billings got hurt, the Arizona Cardinals game, is where it all kind of fell apart, and it seems like it's just carried on into the season. I don't know if there's a quick fix it, but I do think with, like you said, Jason, with guys like TJ Edwards and Kyler Gordon, Austin Booker coming back, I do think that it's going to get better. I mean, if 4.5 yards per rush is their ceiling, the best they can do, that's still going to hurt you in some games, and you're going to lose games because of that. But it's a lot better than 7.
You want to know the one thing too that was missing this week was Grady Jarrett. And I know Grady Jarrett's a little bit past his prime, and we've talked about this, and there's some people that weren't happy with the signing and this and that, but he wasn't there, and they also had their worst rushing yards allowed. Maybe there's something to say that Grady Jarrett is a little bit more of an important piece, because if you get Grady Jarrett stuff back in there and you go from 7.7 yards a carry down to 5 yards a carry, well, you have your answer. Grady Jarrett is a little bit more important to this team than what people had initially thought, kind of like we noticed with Darnell Wright not being in this football game and that right side of the line looking like a clown show for a little while. So, and on the defensive side, Kyle, really quick, the thing that's bothering me, and guys, you guys know I spent all off season talking up Montez Sweat, saying Montez Sweat was going to be the guy that the Bears paid him to be. Through 4 weeks, he hasn't been. You have $140 million on this line. You have 2 sacks combined from Deo and Montez Sweat. According to PFF, the most chipped and double-teamed edge rushers with at least 30 rushers on the season. Deo ranks 45th, and Montez Sweat ranks 52nd, which means these guys aren't getting double-teamed. They aren't getting chipped. They're not winning their one-on-one battles. After this bye, we have to get production. There is $140 million on this defensive front. They have to start doing their job. They have to start penetrating. They have to start putting pressure, or it's going to be a long season. Can you imagine if they're just going to let Lamar Jackson sit back there and pick us apart? They're going to score 70 points on us, man, the Ravens. I mean, you're going to have to get some pressure. You're going to have to make these guys uncomfortable, and it has to start from the 2 guys that you paid the most money, and that's Montez Sweat. We want to get his ass off of this milk carton and into the quarterback's goddamn face. I mean, I'm very frustrated because I have egg on my face right now because I thought this guy was going to come out. I was listening to the coaches and to Ryan Poles saying this guy's the first guy in the building. He's working harder than ever. He's healed from his injuries. He's going to be a terror this year. And I drank that Kool-Aid. And through 4 weeks, man, Montez Sweat and Deo are probably my 2 most disappointing Bears on the season thus far, 4 weeks in.
Yeah, I didn't like the Deo signing when they made it. I told you guys I watched highlights of his from last year. He had 3.5 sacks. 2 of those sacks were against the worst offensive line in football in the Houston Texans. So you take out those 2 sacks, he has a sack and a half. He's not spectacular against the run. He's not like a pass rush specialist. He really doesn't do anything great. I actually think that DeMarcus Walker was a better player than Deo. If you look at the numbers last year, they're very similar, but Deo had more snaps and less statistics, less tackles, less sacks, less. So that signing was confusing to me. The Grady Jarrett signing was confusing. Now, listen, if Grady Jarrett wanted like a 1 year, $8, $9, $10 million deal because he's kind of a player's coach and he's good at helping other players on the team get better, I'm all for it. Every team has a couple of those guys in the locker room, but you sign this guy to a 3-year contract to be here till he's 35 years old. You know that his productivity was declining to begin with. I just don't understand that contract. I don't think that they're going to pay out. I don't think Grady Jarrett's going to finish all 3 of those 3 years of that contract in the Chicago Bears. I think they're going to be done with that pretty soon. But yeah, right now, guys, with what you got is what you got. And if the Bears don't bring somebody in from outside via trade or maybe somebody who's out there available in free agency, it's probably going to be pretty rough for the rest of the season. But I do hope that it gets better than 7 yards a carry, and I think it can.
I think it can too. I really do. And if you're asking, I just saw someone ask when the Bears can get out of some of these contracts. Montez Sweat's here. Montez Sweat's here. That's a big coin, big cap number to take. $25 million to get rid of him. You can get rid of TJ Tremaine Edmonds after this year. Grady Jarrett. He's another big one, man. That can turn around to be a really, really big mistake by the Bears with that $27 million in dead cap. You know.
That's what I said. I don't understand the 3 years. I didn't get that. I think Grady Jarrett would have been a good addition if it was like a 1 year, like, hey, this is your last year of your career. You can spend it in Chicago, help some of the young guys out. I would have been okay with it. But 3 years, you're paying him to be the anchor of the interior of the defensive line for the next 3 years. At 32, 33 years old, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, he's certainly not Calais Campbell, who Kyle pined for. And has
Calais Campbell's been like the number one. I think he's the number one PFF ranked defensive lineman this season, dude.
He's tearing it up, dude.
And I remember.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he a free agent?
Yes, and I begged for the Bears to sign him.
Kyle
begged for the Bears to sign him.
All off season.
Begged.
Well, and he would be a help. I was watching the Cardinals the other day, and I swear to God, I just kept hearing his name.
Yeah, he's in every play.
Campbell in the backfield again. I'm like, oh god.
Back to back weeks in which he has had game altering plays that gave the Cardinals a huge chance to win their football games. By Calais Campbell. Sean knows I was scratching and clawing for the Bears to sign him, and they decided to go with Grady Jarrett, and it has been the tale of two stories because Calais Campbell's been amazing, and Grady Jarrett has not. When he has been healthy, he hasn't been that great. So, yeah, this is something that Ryan Poles is going to have to eat. He's going to have to eat it because he picked these guys. It's not like they were drafted and they ended up being busts. You know, the draft's always kind of a crapshoot. He handpicked these guys in free agency, and they are not playing well. They are not playing well.
You know, the Bears just don't blitz very much. They have like the second lowest or third lowest blitz rate in the NFL and like the lowest sack rate in the NFL. So I don't know if maybe just blitzing more is going to help. Stop the pass and maybe then therefore help the run by proxy. But like I was saying earlier, the interior of the defensive line to me really needs to get better in stopping that run, because if you're not getting pressure up the middle, we're going to be able to run up the middle. Honestly, really the whole defensive line needs to improve. The lowest sack rate and the highest blitz rate, the lowest blitz rate with no sacks. It's just god awful. On contrast, the Giants are blitzing actually the most and have almost as many sacks as the Bears. So I don't know what the Bears are doing, but I literally was just looking at a tweet by Schefter who was saying, literally, what are the Bears doing? ?
So really quick to answer your question, Mikey, the potential out for the Chicago Bears is Montez Sweat. You can trade or cut him, particularly after 26 or 27. His remaining money, guaranteed money, does decrease. Releasing him before June 1st of 2026 would incur a significant dead cap hit of about $8.17 million. However, the contract includes substantial guarantees for Sweat, and the Bears will need to elevate the cost of cutting him against his value of the player. So in 26 and 27, he has that out, but he is also linked. His Sweat's salary remains guaranteed in the latter years of his contract. So the Bears are on the hook for Montez Sweat for some substantial dollars. So let's just all hope that he can turn back into
get
pressure and get in the backfield.
Sean, what's funny is if he was your number 2 defensive end, just based off of what he does outside of the pass rush, he's very good at stopping the run. He's
correct, Mike.
Yeah, he's very good at setting the edge. We know that. Yeah. That's a big physical force. He's just not good at getting after the quarterback. He wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if he was your second defensive end, right? Like the guy who's not expected to get 12 to 15 sacks a year. But the fact of the matter is he's that guy. He's expected to get 10, 12 sacks a year, and he's not doing it. And you guys, let's not forget about Austin Booker, because I was just going to mention his name, Kai. I'm not going to put all this pressure on Austin Booker to come in here and be the savior of the Chicago Bears, because that's just simply not going to happen. But if Austin Booker could just create some pass rush for this team in any capacity whatsoever, I think this team gets a lot better. And I think based off of what we've seen from Austin Booker, based off of what the scouts and experts have said about him, he came out too early, but he was projected to be a damn good player in the NFL. the jury's not out, and I still have high hopes for Austin Booker, and I can't wait to see him against Washington on Monday. I really can't. I think he could impact the game for the Chicago Bears immediately.
What was his injury again? Was it wasn't a knee? It was a hammy, right?
I think it was soft tissue.
Yeah. And as a Jayhawk, watching him at the University of Kansas, he transferred from Minnesota to Kansas, but last year would have been his senior year. So now he would be a rookie in the NFL this year, supposed to be. He was a guy I believe should have stayed in college an extra year. And just because I follow Jayhawks football, I've said this before, but the coaches were pretty surprised when they transferred here. They thought they had a 2-year starter at edge with him. They were very surprised at his decision to leave for the NFL a year early. So hopefully, he continues. He'll grow into his body. He'll grow into an NFL body, and he'll grow into an NFL sack machine for the Chicago Bears. I mean, but what round was Richard Dent? Wasn't Richard Dent an 8th round pick or something like that?
I don't think so.
He was late.
I think it was after that.
He might have been the 12th round. He might have been the 12th round.
It was after that.
Let's find out.
I'm looking right now.
This guy.
You guys, J2K makes a really good point here. He says,
he was the 203rd overall pick.
Yeah.
He says also, Dennis Allen has had one double-digit pass rush for New Orleans. Sacks were always very spread out on the D-line. And you guys, we talked about that before the season. We said this was going to be sacked by committee. Here's the problem, guys: it's sacked by nobody. Like, I expected it to be sacked by committee, and I think Kyler Gordon, TJ Edwards, and Austin Booker can help contribute to that cause. But man,
if at the very least they get another fresh body in there, right, on a rotation.
They're the ones who's when they signed Deo, a lot of Bears fans came out publicly and on social media and were not happy about the signing. And the Bears are the ones who convinced us that this guy is built for much more. He's got a lot more in the tank. He's going to get better. I'm not seeing it. So Bears, you better figure that shit out quickly, because you now, like Sean said, you just put $150 million into the defensive line, and it almost seems like none of these guys are capable of playing at an NFL level.
Yeah,
so
really.
You're in trouble. Now you're in trouble.
Foster.
I'm with Foster here too, man. When you're picking it off on the deep, 4 freaking turnovers and 6 points, man, that's ridiculous. You have to score. You have to cash in on these turnovers. If you're gonna get them, you gotta cash in on them, man. Especially on the road.
Yeah, Foster, it's not necessarily the productivity of the defense in totality. It's the productivity of each individual player based off of what their contracts are. So, I mean, like if Montez Sweat is paid $98 million over the span of 4 years, the guy's got to get double-digit sacks. I mean, I'm not saying he has to. At
least 10.
What I'm saying is, if you were going to pay Montez Sweat $98 million for 4 years to be your sack specialist, you could have paid somebody the same exact amount of money who gets sacks. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Montez Sweat does a lot of things really well, guys. He's really good at setting the edge. He's really good at stopping the run. I'm not taking that away from him. I've said that 100 times now. But you expected him to come here and be kind of a pass rush specialist on third downs. He's not a pass rush specialist at all.
Yeah,
and that's concerning. It's concerning for the Bears, because now it's just another thing the Bears have to worry about going into the next offseason. Where are we going to get sacks? Who are we going to go get? Who are we going to bring into this building to get more sacks? It's just, you wish that Montez Sweat could kind of cross that off the list. But right now, guys, I just don't see it. And Foster, I agree with you 100%. We don't know anything about Shamar Turner. Nothing.
36 snaps is all he's had this year.
For all we know, this guy could grow into one of the best players in the NFL. We don't know. He's a 2nd round pick. He's projected. He was projected to be a good player in football. Obviously, that injury hurt him badly, but they expect him to be good here for the Chicago Bears. The front office expects it. The coaching staff expects it. It's going to take time. We know that defensive linemen usually struggle in the rookie season. I'm not counting Shamar Turner out, but I wouldn't count on him this season making a big enough impact for this defense to become one of like a top 10 defense of the NFL, because Shamar Turner is so good at stopping the run. I just don't see that happening.
It is a position of concern, because we do have some age on there. I mean, Billings is in his 30s. A great Jareth obviously in his 30s. So we really need to find some young talent there and get him in there. Like,
Justin and I have had arguments about every player in NFL history. We had an argument about Bryce Young the day he was drafted.
I'll say this. I think that the Bears are going to be a little bit of a better defense when they return in the nation's capital, especially if you have 2 guys back in TJ Edwards and Kyler Gordon. I think that upgrades your defense immensely.
Yeah, and Sean, you and I have been. Everybody on this Wednesday show has been saying that since day one, guys. I mean, for people to be like, "Oh, TJ Edwards isn't a good enough player to help the Kyler Gordon can't make that big of an impact. Like you guys, you're picking on Jalen Johnson can't get the you just talked about the 3 guys that Ryan Poles has extended since he's taken over the Chicago Bears. Like they paid these 3 guys because they think they are the 3 best guys, and they didn't pay Brisker. They let a lot of guys who are going to be leaving this team, but they made sure Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, TJ Edwards are going to be here for the next few years. Obviously, they think they have a huge impact on this defense. This defense should get better by default when all 3 of those guys are healthy. Now, listen, we don't know anything about Jalen Johnson. They're not saying anything about his recovery time. They're saying could be back towards the end of the season if the Bears are in contention. What is that? Week 10, week 12, week 14, week 17? We don't know. But I'm telling you right now, the Bears would be much better defense with Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Terrell Smith, Austin Booker, TJ Edwards. Like unfortunately for the Bears, they just suffered all their injuries on one side of the ball, and they're feeling that right now. But I do expect this defense, just with Dennis Allen by default, the more time he spends with these players in this roster, they're going to get better for sure.
In another draft where he gets to pick players, another set round of free agency.
And Sean's talked about that. He needs his guys. Like, that doesn't necessarily, just because players look bad in certain defenses, it doesn't mean they're bad players or offenses. It doesn't mean they're necessarily bad players. It just means they don't fit the scheme very well, right? You guys, how many times have we seen players struggle in sports, and then they change teams and go to a different organization or a different scheme, and all of a sudden they're one of the best players in football or baseball, a la Andrew Vaughn. Like, it happens all the time.
And a la Tremaine Edmonds, he was an all-pro linebacker in Buffalo.
It happens all the time.
That in Chicago
all the time.
And you know what? I'm with you, DJ. That before training camp, when he knew he tore whatever, I can't remember what he said he tore off the bone. What was it?
His groin,
his abductor muscle tore off of his hip bone.
Yeah. When he knew that, he should have immediately said, guys, I have to have surgery, get this corrected. I'll see you guys about week 8 of the NFL season. Because I know there's some people in here saying that he can't come back. I believe he's going to try and come back, because I believe that, what did they say? It was a 6-week recovery or something like that?
I heard 2 months, but I don't know. Like I said, they really haven't come out. When Ben Johnson was asked about it, he's like, I'll let you guys know when I know. Nobody said anything about the recovery time. This surgery is also not very common. So it's not like you can just go on Google and be like, what happened if you tear your abductor muscle off of the hip bone and they surgically repair it? How long is the recovery? Like, it's not that common of a surgery. I don't know, Bruce, maybe you can look up how long the recovery time is for surgery when you get your abductor muscle.
I think maybe a little bit tougher for a DB, because you're doing a lot of like side reverse running and spinning and twisting.
Yeah, for any.
Right? Well, I mean, you. Especially though, as a DB, you start off running backwards every play, and then you have to turn. That's the only position that you do that in football. So I mean, you're gonna need your abductor for that.
And I'll be honest, without it, I'm with everybody in here. I don't think you should come back. This isn't we're not a playoff team. We're not for a Super Bowl. Just take the year off. Make sure you're healthy for 2026. And let's go. I mean,
Sean, you can see like Ben wants to win so bad. He
wants to win
so bad, dude. Yeah. He's like, Ryan, bring JJ back, and whenever he's ready, Ryan, go get me Jeffrey Shipman. Like he's like, I can win a Super Bowl. I think Ben Johnson believes he can win a Super Bowl with a couple.
Well,
which is good. That's awesome.
James, to be fair,
well, you have to have confidence, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Ryan Poles is the worst GM in Bears history. We got some people saying, James, be real. Hello, James. Thanks for saying hi to everybody. But I mean, not to say he's the worst GM in Bears history, because I can think of a couple, but
that's not even a conversation. He's nowhere near the worst. You're talking about just based off of the record, but you're not looking into the future.
If you're talking
future of the team,
he might be one of the worst talent evaluators thus far in his career as a GM. That I will say, because
it depends on the person, right? Like, how many people were like, don't draft Roma Dunze, trade up for Marvin Harrison. Like, it looks like Ryan Poles was smart in that decision. People were like, don't draft Caleb Williams, trade back for Jaden Daniels. Ryan Poles is like, have you seen Caleb Williams? Have you watched this kid? Like, there's times where Ryan Poles makes the right decisions. He does
Darnell Wright.
And there's other times where Ryan Poles does things and you're just kind of like, what is going on? What are you, like, Chase Claypool? What? Second round pick? The early second round pick? Like, get the fuck out of here. But I mean, he's he's made a lot of mistakes. I think it's going to get better with Ben Johnson here. I think these two are going to work.
I think it will
tandem. And yeah,
Right,
I still have faith in Colson
right.
Loveland. I still have faith in Shamar Turner. I still have faith in Ozzie Trapillo. I still have faith in all that whole draft class that they just had with this new coaching staff.
Theo
I
Benedet.
think they're all going to make an impact. Yeah, and I don't where Ryan Poles found that guy. I don't know. I don't know who's scouting the Canadian Football League or Canadian colleges, but kudos to the Bears on that one, man, because Ryan Poles actually has a very good track record of undrafted free agents and guys.
I just Googled it just for shits and giggles, guys. I said Bears worst GM in history. It says there isn't a consensus on a single worst GM, but Ryan Poles is currently most frequently cited as the candidate.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
Because he's the most recent.
Yeah.
I bet you most Bears fans can't name the last 5 GMs.
I mean, Phil Emery wasn't very good. So he wasn't here very long because he wasn't very good. I mean, he was here 2012 to 2014. I think he was only here 2 years, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 2 years. He was here 2 years. Phil Emery was terrible. Ryan Pace was the worst GM in NFL history. It's with money, contracts.
Yes,
he almost
awful.
Lennon.
He put them in such a deep hole with dead cap. Yeah, Sean, $18 million from Mike Glennon. Ryan Poles has not done anything that bad.
Hey, James.
Nothing Ryan Poles can be.
I think he was giving him $1 million per inch of his neck.
Hold on, James. He may have drafted Forte and Fuller. It didn't save his job. He was here for 2 seasons, and the Bears showed him the door.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know about Phil Emery.
Well, you guys, Kyle Fuller he was good. He wasn't like, you forgot about Kyle Fuller, the perennial Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like, he was a good player. He was all right. There was better players in that draft. I think Aaron Donald went the pick before him. He was one of the best players. He's a perennial Hall of Famer. I mean, you guys, listen, has Ryan Poles been great? No. Is he the worst GM in Bears history? No, absolutely.
And I'm with DJ, dude. I would put Hatley up there with Phil Emery.
You guys,
Mark Hatley sucked.
You guys, even if Ryan Poles gets fired next year, the Bears have a franchise quarterback. For the first time since 1926, the Bears have a franchise quarterback. That alone automatically eliminates him from worst GM in Bears history.
And he also did pull
off
50
GMs have tried to do it.
Best trade in NFL history.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's done things here where you're like, oh my God, that was amazing. And he's done things here where you're like, Ryan, what are you watching something else? Are we not watching the same thing here? But yeah, I mean, and Sean, last year, people were saying we're using Darnell Wright against Ryan Poles. Like, you take a right tackle at 10. Now every Bears fan in the world loves Darnell Wright. This is the cornerstone of our offensive line. He's the best offensive line we got. Thank God Darnell Wright's here.
Oh my God, Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin is right. Shea McClellan, that was a Phil Emery draft pick. I'm not 100%. I'm pretty sure it was Phil Emery, though. I think it was his first draft pick.
God, Boise State. Oh, God, that guy was. Dude, even Bill Belichick, when he got that guy, was like, yeah, no, thanks. I don't want that guy. Yeah, that guy is horrendous.
Yeah, 19th overall pick. Yeah. Shea McClellan, Phil Emery. Phil Emery can suck it. I mean, I'm glad he drafted Matt Forte. But Matt Forte didn't save his job either. So
no, Matt Forte is one of the best draft picks in Bears history. But a blind squirrel can find it out every once in a while, right?
Yeah, and you know what? For everyone that hated Ted Phillips was pretty good. If you look in totality, what he did here, I mean, he brought a Super Bowl.
I don't think he was picking players though. He wasn't picking players, dude. He was running a business, and then they had like a director of pro personnel picking.
Sean, you guys, who fired Lovie Smith?
That would be Ted.
That was Ted Phillips, yeah.
Yeah, that was a dumbass move. That was a dumbass move by Ted.
With a winning record, too, by the way.
10-6.
And yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, our ownership has historically been laughable. I mean, the organization for the last 2 decades has been.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, the Bears don't have a GM that I would consider like a top 50 GM in NFL history. They've never had one, but for people to say Ryan Poles is the worst of the Bears, that's just recent bias is what it is. You know what that is? That's what's ever stuck in your recent memory. It's because people forget all the terrible decisions some of these GMs made in the past because it's so far back, and all they remember is what happened yesterday, and they're like, well, Ryan Poles has been terrible. There have been some terrible general managers.
For people who don't remember this, but the best GM.
Yeah, Dustin, I agree with Sean real quick. I'm sorry. I don't want to call anybody out or throw anybody in the bus, but I was like, there's no way he drafted Matt Forte.
Oh,
There's no way he drafted Matt Forte. There's no way. That was Matt Forte was way too early.
Yeah.
Way too early.
You're right. Angelo drafted Forte.
Yeah, it was Jerry Angelo drafted.
I'm glad you guys put that together.
I'm glad Dustin brought that up because I was, when I heard that, I'm like, Matt Forte was drafted in like 06. Like, what the fuck? Like 07, like the year after the Super Bowl, I think he was drafted. Like, there's no way that was
until another Super Bowl happens, and some of you guys might not remember this name, but Jerry Benedet is the best Chicago Bears
Sean,
GM.
you know what? I stand corrected. There is a Bears GM in the top 50 GM.
83.
Jerry Benedet.
83.
He won a Super Bowl. That's what he did. He won a damn Super Bowl.
Not only did he win a Super Bowl, that 83 draft for the Chicago Bears is the best draft in Chicago Bears history. Hands down, no doubt.
Sean, maybe.
I think everybody he drafted was a Hall of Famer.
Maybe NFL history. Could be NFL history.
When you're drafting Richard Dent, 203rd, and he becomes like the greatest sack man, you drafted what? 4 Pro Bowl or 4 Hall of Famers and the offensive line. I mean, like Jerry. So I think Jerry, our guy Foster would remember Jerry Benedet very well.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make excuses because, guys, you've heard me say this 1,000 times, and I know people know that I don't hate Ryan Poles, but he's made plenty of mistakes. But he's also had some bad luck. I mean, Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker can't stay healthy if you put a gun to their heads. Like you can't predict that when you're drafting players. Like, wait a second, I don't think we should draft Brisker in the 3rd because he's probably going to have like 15 concussions in his career. Like that's not possible. And before all those concussions started, every Bears fan in the world loved Jaquan Brisker. Absolutely loved Jaquan Brisker. There's nothing you can do about that stuff.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like people wanted Jerry Angelo out of here so bad too. And I thought Jerry Angelo did a good job. And he was the one who did draft Forte. But there was he got us to a Super Bowl and he put together some really good rosters for the Bears team. Got us some Hall of Famers. So it's not a long distinguished list. We haven't had a Howie Roseman in Chicago. God, I hope Ryan Poles turns into Roseman. But
I don't know, you guys. I will always, whenever I look at this, and Sean, you're going to get into this in a minute here, and everybody in the chat, listen up. Whenever I think Sean shows these stats, Caleb Williams first in yards per play, Caleb Williams first, Caleb Williams second, Caleb Williams first, Caleb Williams third, and all these statistical categories, I'm always going to think that Ryan Poles is the one who drafted. Always.
Oh, yep.
Hold on.
First franchise quarterback in NFL in Chicago Bears history, and he was brought here by Ryan Poles. So you know what? If Ryan Poles wins the Super Bowl here, all else for me is forgiven.
Hey, but as you say that, J2K, when you look at the Vikings roster outside of their quarterback, one of the best rosters in football. So, I mean, even though they didn't have a good draft class in 2022, that roster is still pretty tight and pretty competitive.
Yeah, the Vikings have also had some luck. I mean,
sure.
Jalen Reagor got drafted before Justin Jefferson, too. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Everybody in the NFL world was like, "What are you doing, Jalen Reagor?" The Vikings. You see their war when that happened. They were like, "What? We got Justin Jefferson."
Yeah, and what was Justin Jefferson? He was way at the end of the first round, wasn't he?
I think he was like 19.
Yeah, he was down towards
not acceptable. Not acceptable.
Towards the bottom half.
Not acceptable.
As we look at these past 4 weeks, and we all kind of thought the sky was falling. A lot of people, myself included, after that Detroit game, because it had a lot of, going from Minnesota to opening up old wounds from last year under our old head coach and nincompoop. I can't even think of his name right now. What the hell was his name? Oh, Matt Eberflus. That's right. I'm trying to forget it as best as I can. But opening up those wounds. Yeah. Opening up those wounds when we lost that game to Minnesota, to then getting just the wood laid to us in Detroit. Guys, for the last 2 weeks, we could all say what we want. Dallas is terrible. Packers are supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. The Bears held the Dallas to 14 points. The Packers went 40-40. Their vaunted defense with Micah Parsons got lit up like a Christmas tree. I really like even though we're missing all these pieces, the improvements that we saw from week to week, because this coaching staff is getting the most out of these players. It didn't look that well, obviously, in the run game. I think, as we've stated, I think the run game gets better. I think this coaching staff continues to evolve. And I believe our head coach, when he says, we're going to be playing our best football by December. I see the trajectory because, and I just want to see if you guys see it and what you guys are taking away.
Sean, Ben Johnson won't let this fail. He won't let
no, I agree with that. And
it
it looks like
every guy trying. Yeah.
It just keeps slowly improving. And the one thing that you can improve is just not having the superstars. And one trade that might happen, because I read it today that it's very, very likely. And I don't know if he would come to the Bears. He's kind of older, long in the tooth, a lot of miles tread on those tires. But Alvin Kamara seems to be on his way out of New Orleans. So as we look forward to weeks 5 through 17, would you guys welcome Alvin Kamara to the Chicago Bears?
Sean, I think Alvin Kamara would be great for the Chicago Bears, and there's 2 reasons why. A, I think Alvin Kamara is basically capable of doing anything on a football field as a running back. B, we know that the Bears probably have more holes than we thought they were going to have going into this next offseason, right? So the Bears still have a lot of things to address. So if you trade for Alvin Kamara and he's still on that 2-year contract, that eliminates one of those holes for the next 2 years, and you can focus on left tackle, defensive end, defensive tackle. The Bears need to start finding ways to eliminate some of these holes because you don't have 38 draft picks, and you should expect, 4 of your 7 draft picks to be good? Maybe around there. About 50%. So, and you don't have enough. The Bears right now, I think, are projected to have negative $4 million in salary cap space next year. So they're not going to sign any major free agents, right? That's not going to happen. I think Alvin Kamara would be absolutely great for the Chicago Bears. I think it would be great for both. I think it'd be great for Alvin Kamara, and I think it'd be great for the Chicago Bears. Jason?
Yeah, I mean, he's more of like a stopgap than an answer, I think. But he's definitely got talent. I think he's somebody that could fit into Ben Johnson's offense pretty well. But the age is
the modest Dustin Jones.
He's like I said, I'm not thrilled to have him on there for 2 years, but he's not god awful. He's had a couple of good years later in his career, so I mean he's definitely still capable of doing something good. But I honestly think we need more help on defense right now than we do on offense. That's just my opinion. If I was going to make a trade, that's where I would try to improve.
Oh, no doubt. But I think the Bears right now are concerned about just getting this offensive right and concerned about the development of Caleb Williams. I think that's what I think they're like, well, we'll worry about the defense later. Right now, we're just going to try to outscore people and make sure that Caleb is developing as a franchise quarterback. And I think Kamara can help him. I really do, because I like DeAndre Swift, but I think DeAndre Swift's kind of like a one-trick pony. I think Alvin Kamara can run between the tackles. He's good in open space. He can catch the ball. He can pass protect. He can do a little bit of everything. So you don't know what the Bears are doing when Alvin Kamara's on the field. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's never had a 1,000-yard rushing season. He's never had a 1,000-yard receiving season, but he's had 1,000-yard from scrimmage seasons, 1,500, 1,300, almost 1,700.
He catches the ball a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a do-it-all kind of Swiss Army knife, and I'm kind of with you here, Kyle. I don't know what it would take, and I don't know what they would be asking for, but it does seem like Kendre Miller is starting to take over there a little bit in New Orleans. They drafted Devin Neal. Devin Neal, when he gets back from his injury, I'm sure he's going to have a little bit of playing time there as well. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, and hopefully this is something.
I would love to trade for Devin Neal.
Yeah,
Sean Romey says, what do you think it would take?
I don't know. I mean, if you're looking,
I'd say a 6, because I think that they would ask the Bears to take a big chunk of that salary. I think they would tell the Bears, you guys got to take a big chunk of that salary. So I would say 5, but 5th or 6th. It would be later on.
I would go 5th or 6th. And DJ, I'm with you. I would love Jeremiah Love so bad. But here's my question. DJ. Jeremiah Love sitting there, but you have a possible franchise left tackle sitting there. Which way you going?
I'm going left tackle, man.
Left
tackle, man. You guys, you can only ignore, how long are we going to ignore the left tackle? You can't do it forever. Sooner or later, the Bears are going to have to draft left tackle in the first round. And I know, like I said, Bears fans hate drafting offensive linemen. All football fans don't like when their team drafts offensive linemen, because then you're like, I can't even look up highlights for this guy. Like, he's an offensive lineman, but I don't care. I want the tone-setting left tackle. I want Josh Simmons. That's what I want.
And Mikey, No one would love Breece Hall in Chicago more than this guy right here. I am a big Breece Hall fan. I would love for Breece Hall to end up in Chicago. And now that Braylon Allen is broken, I don't know that
Yeah, they can't.
he's going to be going anywhere. Unfortunately, I think if Braylon Allen showed something a little bit more, but that knee got hit pretty hard. I think he's going to end up on IR, be missing the next 4 weeks.
You guys, and J2K makes a really good point right here. He says you can find good running backs in the fourth or fifth, or you could wait till you could draft a left tackle in the first and go get your Travion Henderson in the second. I would have been fine with Travion Henderson too. I would be happy if he was the running back for the Chicago Bears. There's a lot of different ways the Bears can go about this, but I think left tackle should. You guys, when you talk about the priority list in the coming into the offseason, should left tackle not be at the top of the list?
Yeah, until you know for sure you have one. Yes, yeah,
it should be number one.
That D end, and man, unfortunately, you got to get Javon Dexter some help in the middle. You got to
Paul, thanks for joining the show, man. I don't want people to feel. I'm not a huge fan of Rico. I mean, I like Rico Dowell. I don't think he's like a workhorse back. I don't think he fixes the problems in Chicago.
Yeah, he's still that
one trick pony kind of guy. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to bring somebody else in because they don't like Roschon Johnson. And Kyle Mononga is getting 5 carries a game. So they need something. You got to bring in something. Like pretty soon it's going to be Britton Brown here, guys.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I'll be honest. I'm disappointed for him for Roschon Johnson to not even get a crack on this roster. It's probably one of the things that has disappointed me the most. And obviously, I'm not in the practice field. I'm not in the meetings. Obviously, he's probably not doing something that's impressing. The running backs coach, the head coach, somebody. I don't know. Maybe he slept with Ben Johnson's wife. I have no idea. But this guy can't get a crack on the football field to get a carry in that. I still think it's a huge mistake, personally. But
Sean, Paul Martin says, if we finish 9-8 or 10-7, and Benedet starts the rest of the season at left tackle, is left tackle still a priority?
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Until you have your Trent Williams, I'm not going any.
Jeremy Tunsil. I mean, it doesn't have to be the best left tackle in football, but
it would be nice.
But if you're in the mind of Ben Johnson, do you think Ben Johnson wants a left tackle before a running back?
No, I don't. I think
Ben Johnson loves his little toys, man. Yeah, I think he loves his little toys, man. He's like, I want my Jameer Gibbs. I want my David Montgomery. I want my Sam Laporta. I think he loves it. I think he absolutely loves it. It's just, I think he sits there and thinks about what he can do with Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland and DJ Moore and Rome Adunze and Luther Burden, and he's just like, it makes him giddy. I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if next year, if the Bears are staring down one of the best left tackles in the draft or the best running back in the draft, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Ben Johnson went running back and they end up taking another second round left tackle.
And I don't have the list in front of me, but this draft coming up in 2026 is going to be left tackle heavy. And as we get closer to the draft, we'll get into this. Left tackle will be a main focus here at 4-Star Chicago Sports because it's a big time need. And I'm sure multiple shows will be covering left tackles, D ends, and probably running backs, because I think these are the 3 biggest needs for the Chicago Bears moving into the 2026 season. And I feel pretty confident the coaching staff feels the same way.
Yeah, and real quick, I want to ask you guys something. I want to hear both your opinions on this. And chat, you can chime in too here. If Jonah Jackson continues to play the way he's been playing, how long do you guys think it is before Luke Newman is their starting right guard?
Ooh, you know what? He could easily start this year, depending on how bad Jonah Jackson gets. They did invest a lot of money in Jonah, so it might not be until
another bad signing.
It was a bad signing. Don't get me started on Jonah Jackson. Please don't get me started on Jonah Jackson.
Well, I asked the question. I'm getting you started. I think I wouldn't be surprised if you see Luke Newman by week 9, 10, 11.
I mean, it's possible if run game still isn't producing the way Ben wants. If you never know. I mean, at this point you're not going to put anything past him. He just literally changed the offensive line mid-game, so it could happen in the first quarter on week 9. Who knows?
DJ, and I understand that Jonah Jackson hasn't spent a lot of time with the Bears, but go look at his numbers at right guard in previous seasons. He's just not. I just don't think he's a right guard. I think he's much better at left, and he's certainly not going to replace Joe Thuney.
No.
Like, that's not going to happen. So maybe he's a really good, capable backup for the Bears, and he could be kind of a swing guard. But I mean, Jonah Jackson, the play has left a lot to be desired to me personally for Jonah Jackson this season, guys. And maybe it's just one of these things where they don't know each other yet and they haven't played enough together and they're still trying to build this cohesive unit. But if you watch Jonah Jackson's tape, guys, and I know nobody likes PFF, but there's really not a good thing written about him anywhere.
He
Not that I can find.
In 261 offensive snaps, he's played 166 pass blocking snaps. In those, he's allowed 8 pressures. He has a 54.2 pass block grade, a 56 run grade, a 52.8 overall grade. Let's just say this guy, it says he hasn't allowed any sacks. He's committed 4 penalties. So if you take that 166, let's see, how many pressures is he allowing here? 166. Gosh darn it, the stupid fucking bug.
And you know what? If we're being honest with you, I think Dahlman could use some improvement too. I don't know if it's
for
just,
sure.
I'm with you. Dahlman's been a disappointment this year.
Disappointing for sure. But we've seen Drew Dahlman play well, so we know it can get better, right? Like we all know it can get better. I've watched Jonah Jackson's tape. I watched it in Detroit. I watched it in LA. I just don't know if how much better he can get. And real quick, guys, Paul Martin says, so do we move right to right guard to replace Jackson and Ozzie to left tackle?
he meant right tackle.
23 draft guides had right projected at guard. I don't think moving right to guard would be a good move by the Chicago Bears. I think he's the best offensive lineman you got, and that's at right tackle.
Yeah.
And what is this, 3rd year now? 4th year?
He did play offensive guard a little bit in college. He played left tackle. He played the most right tackle. But I said this on Monday. I'll say it again today. Like, I just don't see taking a strength away and trying to or making it a weakness.
Right.
Because you saw Ozzie Trapilo. I mean, Trapilo, he did look fine, but he also had a tight end and a running back over there on almost every down, chipping and helping him out. So
yeah, and we all expect him to get better, right? Like
I'm not saying he won't get better.
Yeah, but he's not there all right.
Yeah, and
the whole purpose of 12 personnel is to have that extra help on the ends.
And you guys, we've heard Ben Johnson talk about how much he likes Darnell Wright and how he's a tremendous athlete and he's special and he can do basically anything he asks him to do. If you were gonna move him, it would be to left tackle. It would not be to guard. It would be you would move him where he would be the most valuable. And I like him at right tackle. I think he should stay there. But if the Bears do decide to move him, it's going to be to left tackle, no doubt about it.
Well, and two, DJ, if what we just witnessed with Ben Johnson pulling his guy in the middle of the game, 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. I think it was the 3:30 mark of the second quarter when he switched the tackles. If Jonah Jackson keeps performing this way, allowing pressures, breaking down that line, he may have that shiny contract. But I'm not going to put it past Ben Johnson to say, dude, grab some bench because you can't block or you can't do your job. Right. So, I mean, that's just where I am. I mean, he said contracts don't matter, and I'm gonna tend to believe him. Especially, I mean, it took him 3.5 games to yank Braxton Jones. So, and maybe Luke Newman isn't shining in practice. I wish we can go see these practices during the week like we can in training camp to get our eyes on these guys. But we
have Bates still.
What's that?
Don't we have Ryan Bates still?
Yeah, but I think Bates is hurt, isn't he?
I didn't see him on the injury report.
Yeah, I haven't seen him on the injury report. I just don't think Bates is all that good.
No, you're probably right. It's probably Newman. To be perfectly honest with you, that's who they drafted, right?
Well, Newman from all week, like you said, guys. I test, and I know he's playing backups, but Luke Newman looked really good in the preseason. I mean,
he did. He did
like a capable guard in the NFL. His PFF numbers were decent. I mean, I don't.
Ryan Bates is healthy, and he has not played 1 single second for the Chicago Bears in 2020.
I think if Ryan Bates is playing, that you're probably talking about worst case scenario for the Chicago Bears. Sean, anything else you want to talk about with improving this roster, or do you want to move on to?
No, I'm just, for me, I think the continued improvement of one Caleb Williams has really shined from this year to last year. He's becoming really clutch. You could see in Caleb's numbers here that he has continued to shine. He gets better as the game goes along. He seems to struggle just a little bit here in the third quarter. Hopefully that will get better. But it was kind of reversed this past week where he's looked good in the first half and struggled in the second half a little bit. And this week he was able to reverse that just a tad. And then, you look at him in the 2 minute this year, 8 for 11, 72%, 102 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, a 140 passer rating. I mean, when the lights shine the brightest, Caleb seems to step his game up, and it's going to be very fun for all of us to continue to watch him develop. And as a guy, I could sit here really quick and say, I didn't want him here. I'm happy he's here because he's starting to prove me wrong and he's starting to develop. We got the coach here to help him, and I'm very impressed through 4 weeks. And I can't wait to get to December to see exactly where he is.
Okay, and you know what, you guys, the 2-minute drill stuff, the shotgun stuff, I think it's just a product of how many snaps he's taken in his life on shotgun. I think he's practiced till he's made it perfect. And the more he practices under center and the more he starts to play inside the structure of his offense, I think you give it a year, by 2026, I think he's going to be playing well and every snap, every quarter, every down. I think he has a lot of God-given talent. He's a damn good quarterback, and I think he's going to be a good quarterback for the Bears for a long time. And I think he's going to be the first 4,000-yard passer and the first quarterback to throw for 30 touchdowns for the Bears.
Yeah, and to back you up, Kyle, I mean, there he is, under center and shotgun. I mean,
numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
liars do use numbers.
Yeah, he is. He is truly impressing me, man. Jay, what are your thoughts here before we flip the switch here?
As a homer, you always want to see, hey, I wish his improvement was, night and day different every week. And, he excels and throws 6 touchdowns every game, but it's not really realistic. But when you're really looking at those numbers, which I haven't really looked at the difference between between the shotgun and under center. I mean, if you're a quarterback and your coach forces you to play under center and you have 5 more touchdowns, like almost double the QB rating, no interceptions. I mean, sooner or later it's going to hit home like, hey, coach is right. I need to learn how to play under center. And when you listen to his conferences, his press conferences after games, he's not too high. He's not too low. He's pretty, even keeled. He'll admit his faults. He's literally saying what he needs to get better at. He's not worrying about wins. He's worrying about the next game in front of him. He's not blaming his team for any mistakes. So I think he's going down the right path. Now, I hope he gets, I hope he hits his stride before December. I mean, that would be nice for me, but I just need him to hit it sometime this year. So like Kyle said earlier in the show, by next year, there is no more growth. We're a fully operational Death Star.
Yeah. And you want to know what's funny is he didn't even care when he won the player of the week when they asked him. I'd love that in his interview. He was like, yeah, that's cool. He's like, I'm on to next week. Like the award wasn't even, yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Great. Let's go win a football game. And personal accolade, he didn't really care about. And I really adored that about him when the other last week when he won it against Dallas. I really did. So, and speaking of awards, we have another one.
Josh Blackwell.
Josh Blackwell, baby. NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Keep racking those awards. And I don't know if you guys got to see this. I watched this. I was telling Jay, I think it was before you got backstage, Kyle. I watched this little synopsis thing of the game against Vegas, and they showed Theo Benedet. He did this full running charge at Ben Johnson and did jumped on his back. And then I just found this picture. This was right after he jumped on his back. And, this is the shit I like to see, man. Look at how happy he is to be around his coach. We just didn't have this under this last regime, man. And it's so refreshing. And I'm going to do it for the first time today, right now. Here we go. Good, better, bad. Never let it rain. Never let it rain. You're good, get better. You're good, get better. You better get better. You better get better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bears!
Let's real quick. I just want to address some of these comments, guys. Paul Martin says, though, that sack he took at the Las Vegas 30, 2 guys were open within 5 yards. If he throws it at their feet or dink to them, Santos could still make that field goal. Yeah, we're certainly not saying it's a perfect product.
He's got a lot of room to grow.
And then James says, is Caleb going to fit Ben's system, or is Ben going to build an offense around Caleb? I hope it's a little bit of both, James.
Yeah.
I hope Ben has this idea in his head of what he wants the offense to look like, but he's going to have to adjust the more he gets to know Caleb Williams. And gets to
Well,
know
he
him.
said, I don't want to take away who Caleb is. You know, that
Right.
rollout, he has a jumping throw when he's rolling out that his arm strength is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever really seen it that powerful. He's not touching the ground, and it's all arm, and the ball goes like 35 yards. It's insane.
Yeah,
And
the God-given talent is obvious.
Yeah.
to just this right here, this just shows you, man, like he wasn't an under center quarterback, so he is adapting to Ben's system, but Ben's also not taking away what he's at. As you see, it's 49-44. He's trying to keep it even keel here. So he's working the best of both worlds. And just like Dennis Allen, you know, it's 4 weeks of them. I know you go back to training camp, but now you're in games. You're doing things. This is like, for me, like 4 weeks they've actually really been together, experiencing what each other does for one another. So they're planting the seeds, the flower's growing, and I think it's going to be beautiful when it's all said and done. And we just got to be patient, a lot more patience than a lot of us want to have, because I know Chicago, that's why we need the Cubs to keep winning, because we're so thirsty for playoff anything in this town. We want this instant gratification. We want the Bears.
Well, Sean, the Bulls had that play-in game.
Yeah.
Nobody watched.
I've always been one, Kyle, and you know this. I've always just been one to say, hey, man, just let's enjoy the process. The process is fun. I don't think the Cubs are going to win the World Series, but I'm watching the young kids grow, and I think the Cubs are going to be around and be a terror. And you're starting to see it with the Bears. And at the same time, the Blackhawks are young. They're starting to come along. Guys, we could have a Chicago renaissance here over the next couple of years and just be the talk of sports. I don't know if the White Sox are going to get there. Sorry, Mikey. But the Cubs are there. The Blackhawks are on their way. I know it looks rough on the ice, and if you guys are Blackhawks fans, you probably don't believe me, but just stay tuned. I promise you the Hawks are going to.
They got some young talent coming up.
Yeah,
Dude.
the Hawks are going to get there. Yeah, and the Bears are right there. The Bears are going to be knocking on the door, man. The Bears are going to be knocking on the door.
J2K says, keep in mind it's a new offense and new footwork for Caleb. To be playing under center this well with all the other stuff is very impressive.
I agree.
Agreed.
DJ Prophet says, Ben doesn't have an offense. That's the best part. He attacks the defense with anything at his disposal. I think he's willing to adjust to his roster and play to the strengths of this team. And DJ Prophet, I'm assuming, Sean, I think he's talking about the Blackhawks. He says lots of young talent, and then Relentless Mikey says, "Oh, what the fuck?"
And here, Mikey, and here on the White Sox front, because I want to be fair. I think the White Sox are doing this right. Jason doesn't believe me, my pessimistic homie over here, but I believe
they'll start doing it right when he's dead, when they can finally start doing stuff.
I like this talent. I like this core, and that the pitching that they've acquired through the drafts in the minor leagues. The White Sox are on something, and I'm not saying next year, but you're going to see this growth on the south side of Chicago.
That Colston Montgomery kid is legit. That kid's legit.
He got us to like 55 wins. Who
cares?
By the time they're good, now the old man dies. They're going to trade him away. Have you guys not been paying attention to the White Sox? This happens
no, Jason. No,
every year.
and
boys, I don't really care about the Whites. No offense, but I mean, I hope for Chicago's sake, for bartenders' sakes, that they make the playoffs at some point. But I'm not hanging my head on that. The White Sox are a disaster.
And we're gonna hit up this. We're gonna hit up our pick six. I just want to take a quick trip around the league really quick and get into some of these injuries. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but before we do that, I just want to throw this back up there. Monday night. Bears, Redskins, River Street Tavern, 102 North River Street. We're going to have $3 tall boys, $3 Coors, $3 Millers for your drinking pleasure as the Bears seek revenge in the nation's capital against the Washington Redskins. We're going to have half-price wings. We're going to have our live podcast. We're probably going to go on about 6:15, something like that. Just give a quick preview. And then I believe we're going to do something at halftime. But we got Roma Dunze jersey to give away. We have a Caleb Williams jersey to give away. We're going to have some other great Chicago Bears autograph prizes. I'm working it right now to get you guys some of the best stuff. so you guys can add to your collections. And don't forget the 50-50 raffle. We're obviously raising money for charity for people less fortunate than us. Just come out, spend some time with 4-Star Chicago Sports at River Street, 102 North River Street, East Dundee, Illinois. Hopefully we see you all out there. We pack the house. We raise some money for people less fortunate than us. And the Chicago Bears get that revenge against Washington in the nation's capital. What we got going on, boys? We're going around the league.
Let me ask you on the draft show, you had promised at the Bears draft warren you were going to do a backflip. Are there any backflip promises you're going to make for Monday Night Football?
Oh, backflip promises. I'll tell you what. If Caleb Williams,
don't do it, Sean. Don't do it. Don't do it.
He's got to have 5 touchdowns.
Dante
Santos-Village is still there.
He can have 4 passing, 1 rushing, and they just wipe the floor with Washington. Okay. and don't forget, guys, Caleb Williams is going out. He's going to Washington. So, and Mikey, hopefully Mikey's there. He can pick me up. He can pick me up off the ground after I try this backflip.
And Sean gets his second back surgery in less than a year.
Santa's Village is still open.
It's called something different now, I think.
Yeah, is it?
I don't know. I see more people doing paintball there than anything else.
Yeah. They still, it's still open. So hopefully you guys can come out, man. It's a really good time. We do the best to get everybody involved that's there. And we get to watch the Bears together. I mean, what's better than that?
Really good food there too, guys. Not just the half-price wings and everything. All the menu items are like pretty damn good there.
And Kyle won't be working for once.
Hey,
I'm sure I'll get sucked in.
I heard Jen is going to bartend it, is what I was told. I don't know if that's true or not, but
good. Liz can pick me up.
Yeah, perfect. We all remember the last one Kyle was at. We won't talk about that on air, though.
Let's go around the league here.
Yeah, you know what, man? There's so many injuries, man. Right now, I am so depressed. Waking up today, finding out that my lead running back, Bucky Irving, is in a boot and crutches. I'm losing him. Guys, hit the wire. If you haven't got a Sean Tucker, if you haven't got a Ricard White in your fantasy, I can't even imagine these guys aren't picked up. We lost Trey Benson this week. He's on IR. So DeMarcado.
Kill, Malik Neighbors.
It's just unbelievable.
Like
it's unbelievable.
It's not good for football, guys. I mean, listen, I understand people are like, oh, he's not on your fantasy team, or he's a rival. The Bears have to play that team. Like, what they have to play the Giants. It's not good for the product if guys like Malik Neighbors are not on the field. Especially if your team's out of it, like, so your team's not going to make the playoffs. The reason we watch football is because we want to watch the best of the best of the best, and watch these remarkable things that they do, and all these athletic traits, and all the things that they're capable of doing, things that we could never even dream of. And then you lose one of the 2 of the best receivers in football on the same week. It's not good for football, man. It's depressing.
Hey, Bears fans can complain about injuries, but if you're a San Francisco fan, Keith, sorry, buddy. Woo.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Is there anybody healthy on the team? That's more accurate.
You guys, what's going on over there? What is going on over there?
It's like every year there's a whole ton of injuries over there.
I've never seen anything like this. It's insane. Yeah, every single time they're like, all right, but don't worry, we got this Pearsall guy. Oh, he's hurt. Oh, but don't worry, we got Juwan. Oh, he's out. Oh, but don't worry,
he's hurt.
We got Bernard. Oh, there's but don't worry, we got CMC. Oh, then but don't worry, we got Jordan Mason to back CMC. Oh, Jordan Mason's out. Like Brock Purdy got hurt. Who came in? Mac Jones. Guess what happened to Mac Jones? Hurt. I've never seen anything like this.
It's insane.
It's remarkable. It's almost like on purpose.
It truly is. And I'm really depressed because I got buys and my fantasy teams are just going down to shit.
Sean, there's a lot of fantasy teams going down with the ship.
Where's Scott? Oh, Scott's drafted fantasy hockey. Text me, said he's not going to see the show because he's drafted fantasy hockey today. But that guy's lost Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb, and Joe Burrow. His season is over.
I mean, those are his top 3 picks. That's brutal, dude. That is brutal. I mean, that's like Sean, my team in Burnens League. I mean, it's nonstop. Every time I open my phone, Trey Benson gone, Tyreek Hill gone, Ricky Pearsall gone. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm just throwing in the white towel on this. There's not much more I could do, especially in a 12-team league with 19 starters. There's nothing available.
The only thing you have to live for is like use some of your fab to pick up a player that you might be able to keep for next year. I mean, that's all you really have to look forward to.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I think we always think that the injuries are getting worse, but this year is particularly bad. It's bad. I've never seen it. I mean, and it's not just a lot of injuries; it's a lot of stars.
They're big injuries too. It's not like, oh, he's going to be out 2 weeks and he's fine. It's, he's out 8 weeks. He's out for the year. He's out.
Dude, Jason,
Tyreek Hill's not playing football.
Jason, did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh God!
I don't think he's coming back.
What the? How that leg didn't snap is. He's a tough son of a bitch.
It reminds me of.
He's laughing going off the field. Like,
yeah,
I think he's like kind of happy he's done in Miami, right?
It reminds me of Zach Miller.
Oh God!
Oh God, that Zach Miller was brutal,
dude. He almost died.
He almost lost his leg.
Yeah, internal bleeding. That was sad. It was really sad. But that Tyreek Hill one was tough to watch. And I will say this: I hate ESPN. But ESPN is the only network that replays gruesome injuries. They replayed that thing like 6 times, bro. They were like, here, let us zoom in so you guys can really see. I'm like, oh my God. They just kept showing it. I'm like, man, that is brutal.
Yeah.
The James Conner one was rough too. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys ever got a chance to see that one, but that one,
I was feeling bad for him because he had a stretch where he was healthy. Because remember earlier in his career, he was a little injury prone, and I was feeling good for him because he was a solid fantasy football player, solid running back. Kind of the backbone of that offense. And then
when he's healthy, he's good. He's underrated. He's underrated. When James Conner's healthy, he's a damn good player. And that leg was rough. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know much about medical stuff, but I know the foot's not supposed to face him that way. I know that.
Oh, that's why when we were watching it live on the air, I thought it was his foot that snapped. I didn't realize it was his knee that actually. That's why his foot was that way.
Oh yeah.
I think it was everything.
Yeah,
Relentless Mikey says the Johnny Knox one made me throw up. Yeah, that one was.
Oh God, I thought he was dead. I've never seen anybody's back bend in half.
Foster says I could still see those thighs. Dude, you know what's crazy about that one, Foster? Obviously, I was really young, so I don't think I was really watching football much back then. But I remember people telling me that you could hear Joe Theismann's leg snap on the TV, like you could hear the pop. That is disgusting.
That Sean Livingston DJ off of that dunk was. Oh my God! I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but Google Sean Livingston.
Oh, I saw it.
Willis McGahee too at Miami when his leg was planted, and the guy went right through it. Ugh.
Or that kid from Louisville who's the compound fracture, his bone popped out in college basketball, or who was the guy in the Olympic game? What was it? It was Paul George. His leg just.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Buckled.
Not about Paul George.
That one wasn't really like no contact or anything. He just jumped and landed, and it just like snapped in half. Yeah, there's been some gruesome ones, but yeah, the NFL injuries this year it's disappointing because it's starting to get to the point where it's like a few more big superstars, and you're going to start seeing teams eliminated who should be in the playoffs and should be championship contenders. Like Joe Burrow. That basically ends their season. Like that's disheartening, and it's not good for football. You want to see the best teams in the play. You don't want to see another year where Trent Dilfer wins the Super Bowl because Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrows and Lamar Jacksons of the world are all sitting on IR. Like it's not good for the sport.
Yeah, it's certainly not. And we had 6 undefeated teams last week, right? We're down to 2. We have 2, and we're going to put those 2 in our pick 6 this week to see.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, guys. Everybody in the chat, pick 6.
Everybody in the chat, and just remember, guys, the weekly pick 6. It doesn't matter if you haven't participated before. We're going to do it by season's end, so hopefully you're here most weeks. I know everyone can't make it every week. This is where we are right now. Obviously, Kyle, Sean, and Jay are going to have the most because we're here every week. But this is where we are. From last week, we had some new people. V-Dog jumped in, AC, Camel Toe, and I haven't seen them here today, so I don't know if they'll be jumping. But Mikey's here, Eric is here, Bruce, Jay. We'll have to get Dustin in here.
Mikey says, "Let's go."
All right, so we got two undefeated. We got two. Hold on, let me take this off. Sorry, guys. We got two undefeated teams left here. And they are the Eagles, and who's the other undefeated team? The Eagles and Jesus Christ. Why?
I'm looking at it right now.
Why is this escaping me?
Bills.
The Bills. Jesus.
Bills.
Sean, did you go bring that chart back up?
Which one?
The records for our pick'ems. Is AC Adam 3-3 or 3-4-3?
He should have been 3 of 6. I screwed that
3
one
of
up.
6. All right. I was going to say
3 of 6.
because everybody else has like 6, 12, 18.
Yeah. I screwed that one up.
All right. I just
you
making
know
sure.
what? I
don't want people to. I don't want people to think that I'm 11 and 18. Like I'm 11 of 18. Guys.
Correct.
That's a
Correct.
different.
I screwed that. I actually forgot to do it, so I was scrambling right before we went on to put them up. So,
all right, guys, let's do this shit. Mikey, let's go. Profit. Let's go.
Since we don't have no Bills this week, or Bears, excuse me, but we do have a good matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Philadelphia Eagles from the city of brotherly love. I'm gonna go the Eagles. I have no choice.
Yeah, I'm going to Eagles.
Eagles, of course. I think some of the hype from last year is dwindled, and maybe Denver's come back down to ground a little bit. They're still a very good team, but the Eagles are the Eagles.
And I think that Denver's one of those teams that'll get better as the season goes on.
Yeah.
They're still
I wouldn't
young quarterback.
I wouldn't be surprised if Denver won that game, though.
No, I'm not. I don't think it's going to be like a destruction. But Sean, we got Breakthroughs Bruce has the Eagles, DJ Profit has the Eagles, Foster Cover has the Eagles, and Relentless Mikey has the Eagles. So just write all of our names and like really big.
We got
Eagles.
We got Foster. Hold on, Foster. Bruce has the. I got Bruce down. Foster,
everybody has the Eagles. Mikey,
you got to tell me the names
Foster,
again. Bruce,
Profit.
Eagles. I got DJ here. Eagles. Mike Eagles. Okay, well, we're not going to have any disparity in this one, are we?
Foster Eagles.
All right, let's check out where's the Buffalo. Buffalo's going to crush. Buffalo's at home Sunday night versus the Patriots. Should we not do that game?
Yeah, Sean. Why would you put that game on the docket? Dude?
Yeah, that's the Lions. Well, I try to do our division.
Who wins, guys? The Eagles or the Titans?
Yeah. Buffalo's playing New Orleans.
The games are really tough this week. I mean, Cowboys, Jets, Giants, Saints. Here, you guys tell me one you want to pick because
Giants Saints is a good one.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
The Giants Saints is a good one.
Do you think that the Giants are just going to like steamroll them? I mean, the Saints just stood up with the Bills, bro. First half, I think the end of the first half they were like winning.
I'm not sitting down at noon to watch the Giants and the Saints. I can tell you that.
Oh no, I'm just talking about picking it. I'm not gonna watch it.
No,
I'm not gonna watch it.
I'll take New Orleans to get their first win of the year.
I agree. I think I'm gonna take New Orleans as well.
No. I'm gonna take the Giants. I'm
still taking the Saints.
All right. New Orleans for Jay.
That's a tough one. I'll take the Giants. Let's go, Jackson Dart. Don't screw me, man.
He needs to learn how to slide.
Sean, DJ Profit's got the Giants. Relentless Mikey's got the Saints. He's with Jason. Oh, Lindsay's in. She's getting in here. She's got Eagles and the Giants.
Eagles. Let me put Lindsay. Eagles, Giants. What you got, Bruce and Foster?
Foster's got Giants.
Bruce has Giants.
Giants.
Bruce is Giants.
Texans. Texans Ravens would be so much better if Lamar Jackson. That's a good one. Bronco are Buccaneers and the Seahawks in Seattle.
Ooh,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's probably the best game on the docket outside the Broncos and the Eagles this week.
Ooh, Buccaneers and Seahawks. They're in Seattle.
They're in Seattle.
I'm going Seahawks.
Kyle, Seattle. Jay, you said Seattle?
Yeah, two teams that are 3-1. I mean, Seattle's maybe a little bit better than I think we all gave them credit for. I was thinking they might have a decent offense, but they're solid on defense too, man.
Playing Seattle is tough, man.
It's
tough.
Yeah.
Sean, Foster's got the Bucks. Lindsay has the Seahawks.
Okay.
Wait, is Baker Mayfield out?
What?
No. I didn't see the injury report.
Mikey said no Baker, no Bucky. Seattle
I'm looking right now.
No, he's my fantasy quarterback. He doesn't have a cross.
Sean, DJ Prophet said Baker may not play? Question mark. I don't know. Sean, did you get who have you
He's
got?
not on the injury report.
Who do you need here, Sean? Lindsay has
Oh,
Seahawks.
he's got a right bicep injury, but he had that last week leading into the Eagles game. But it says he's also listed with a knee injury on the week 5 injury report. Oh boy.
Yeah, boy. I'm on ESPN right now. He's not on any report.
No, it's right here. 18 minutes ago, Baker Mayfield out Wednesday with new injury. He played through a bicep injury last week, but his knee is new. We haven't heard anything that suggests that Mayfield is in danger of missing this Sunday's game.
Breaking news, Lindsay. Bruce, where were you?
Here, I'll say this. How about this?
Mikey.
I think Lindsay said it, right?
No, Mikey.
I'm going to take the Bucks.
Sorry, Mikey.
I'm going to take the Bucks. But if Baker's out, I get to switch my pick to Seattle. Is that fair?
Yeah, sure. But Lindsay's got Seattle. Foster's got the Bucks. DJ's got the Bucks. Relentless Mikey's got Seattle.
Ooh, we got some different picks here. This is gonna be a Bruce. Who you got, bud?
Seahawks. Bruce has the Seahawks.
Seattle. Okay, so I got 3 across the board. Let's look at this next. Dolphins, Panthers, Raiders, Colts, Cowboys, Jets. Stop me when you guys want to pick one.
Sean, Raiders, Colts.
Yeah,
Raiders, Colts in Lucas Oil in Indianapolis. I'm going to take the Colts.
Bruce's Colts.
I'm going Indy.
Foster's Colts. Lindsay's Colts. Prophet's Colts.
Colts across the board, huh?
Well, we haven't got Mikey yet.
Kyle, your Colts?
Mikey's Colts.
Jay, your Colts?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's Colts. Watch us all be wrong. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I would have taken Vegas if they were in Vegas, but
all right, Sean. Foster wants Jets and Panthers on the docket.
Jets and Panthers? Really?
Yeah, I mean that's a good match. I mean they're both bad teams, but they're both bad teams.
Jets and Cowboys are playing each other.
Oh, Jets and Cowboys, Foster.
Jets and Cowboys, Panthers, Dolphins.
I mean, that Panthers Dolphins game, that's a tough pick.
I was thinking about Commanders Chargers too.
Let's do that one.
Hold on, guys, because we pick one between those 3 because we have to throw the Chiefs and Jaguars on the docket because I'm gonna piss off our internet specialists. And I'm going to take Jacksonville in that game.
Social media internet
or social media guru. Sorry, Lindsay.
You're taking Jacksonville, huh? I'm going to take the Chiefs.
I'm undecided. I'm leaning towards Jacksonville. That defense has looked really, really good this year. It is in Duval County.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Hey, you know what? Their head coach is fighting on the sidelines with other coaches. That's going to get a team fired up. So I'm going with Jacksonville as well.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, guys, way too early, but they're calling for thunderstorms in that game.
In Jacksonville?
Mm-hmm. Break news, Bruce going Chiefs. DJ Prophet's going Chiefs. Relentless Mikey's going Jacksonville.
Mikey's going Jacksonville. Bruce said what? KC?
Yep.
Lindsay, I know Lindsay's going KC.
Yeah, you know she's going Chiefs. Yeah.
I need to wait for that one. What's Foster got?
Foster's going Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs.
Kyle's KC. Jay's Jags. I'm Jags. DJ Prophet.
He's Chiefs, man.
Yep.
He's Chiefs. All right. And then which one you want, Foster? Cowboys, Jets, or Dolphins, Panthers? I'll let you pick. That'll be the pick 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that'll be the pick 6. You pick it.
Yeah, Foster, you pick it, man. That
Cowboys, Jets
is tough, man. Panthers, Dolphins. Ugh, gross.
Yeah, there's a couple of gross noon games this week, man.
I think I would go Panthers. With no Tyreek Hill, I think I would go Panthers. Yeah, Foster wants the Dolphins and Panthers. So let's hear your guys' picks. I'm going Panthers.
I, too, am going to go Carolina. I think their run game picks up a bit. this week.
Breaking news, Bruce, Panthers. I'll tell you this, Devon A-Chain's going to have a great game. I know that.
Well,
The Panthers run game is horrendous.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go opposite of you guys, dude. I'm gonna go Miami. I'm gonna go Miami to get a road win here.
Sean, Prophet,
DJ and Mikey are both Dolphins.
Yeah, Prophet and Mikey are with you. Lindsay's going Panthers.
I mean, the Panthers have gotten better, but
not according to last week.
Well, when you look at the talent, they still have Jalen Waddle. They still have Devon A-Chain. They still have, Ollie Gordon's coming. They can't stop.
Oh, you're talking about Miami. I thought you were talking about the Panthers. Foster's got the Panthers.
We got Carolina. All right. That's the pick 6 for the week. Boys. I like it. I like it, man. I didn't realize this Bears bye week is going to be so brutal with so many shitty games. Jesus Lordy.
Vikes in Cleveland, Foster says. Yeah, I'm definitely not watching that game.
Dude, I'm going to sleep through that 8:30 affair.
You know what, though? I hope that defense just destroys Minnesota's offense. I hope a couple of guys get hurt. That would be so great. You want to know what's
funny?
Jason, we're all like, man, injuries just aren't good for football. Jason's like, I hope they hurt. I certainly hope the Vikings lose for sure. I hate that team.
No, the Vikings keep getting this break. Like, here, let's bench Joe Flacco against Minnesota and start Dylan Gabriel. It's just like, come on. Has everyone not realized the rookie quarterback versus their DC is a terrible?
You could have waited one more week to start him.
Right. Like, it's a really bad idea for Cleveland. I feel really bad for Dylan Gabriel. Like, he's going to blitz him 70% of the time. This guy's going to be running for his life. He lost Cedric Tillman. He's on IR, so he lost his a compliment receiver. I don't know, man. I think it's very foolish of Stefanski to make that move.
He thinks Quinshon Judkins is better than he is, so they're planning on running the ball a lot.
They better run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Well, boys, this has been a gem. We're quite towards the 2 hour. I shouldn't say time limit because we really don't have one of those. But this was fun. And tomorrow, everybody, don't forget Dustin and Brandon will bring in their brand to the airwaves at 11:30 on the bare minimum. And as always, if you can't burn the midnight oil with them, check them out on your way to work. They're fun, they're entertaining, and a lot better than the Score Sports 670. I can tell you that.
Mulligan.
Mike Mulligan. It's time to retire.
Thanks,
yeah, dude. He's a wraith. He's a ghost. I don't even know if he's alive.
And I'll tell you, David Haw, who I used to like a lot, has turned more into like just saying things that you're like, really, dude? Come on,
I think because he's been with Mulligan for so long. If you put him back into like an actual broadcast with actual sports, somebody who's under 387 years old, I think he can come back to where he was before.
Jason, DJ's loving your rate.
Dude, have you seen him? He's lost like 300 pounds too, which probably means he's about to die. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a Mike Mulligan fan. And when they bring on Brad Biggs, and then every once in a while they'll have Tom Thayer, who I love too. But it's like an every 5 seconds.
Well, you know what you do? You know what you do, Jay? Or you know what I do is I just wait a couple hours after and I click on the Odyssey app. So then I only have to listen to that like 15-minute section and then I can turn it off. Odyssey is the greatest thing that ever happened to the Score Sports 670. I swear to God.
DJ, Mikey.
And again, hey,
Lindsay.
What's that?
So DJ, Mikey, Foster, Prophet, Lindsay, Bruce.
T was in there. By the way, I did see a T came in there after that other TR was in there. So they're two different.
He did.
James Christo, Dante Purify, Paul Martin was here for a while. He was active in the chat. Romy, as always, man, we appreciate it. If I'm Erica was here. If I'm forgetting anybody, I apologize. Jedediah was here. J2K. We appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for being part of the show. Take care of yourselves so you can take care of each other, guys. As always, go Cubs.
Yeah, go Cubs.
Yes, and really quick, Kyle, before we get out of here, if the Cubs do win tomorrow, or when the Cubs win tomorrow, we will be back on Saturday. I'm not sure if we'll be live. We might do a recording because I'm busy on Saturday morning, so we might do a Friday. We're definitely going to preview the Cubs and how the Cubs will eliminate the Milwaukee Brewers after they're done with the San Diego Padres. So stay tuned for that this Saturday. Don't forget Dustin and Brandon. And one more time before we get out of here.
Never let it rain! Never let it rain! You're going to get better! You're going to get better! You better get better! You better get better! Bears on 3! 1, 2, 3! Bears!
Love that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
He's going to be forced by the end of the season.
Wall.
Yeah.
He will.
He's gonna have like gray hair and be like wheelchair.
Hey, love y'all. Bear down, everybody.
Yeah, bear down.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.